Episode 6 of Contiosity, baby. We have made it to episode 6. I'm so excited. Hey, it's me, Reshma, with my dear friend.
And it's me, Tia, and 6 is my favorite number.
6. Is it a lucky number? It's a good number.
Yeah, it's just one of my on repeat numbers. Another story.
We start with a story that's another story.
But it's a little OCD, but I do like the number 6. It has significance. But I do also use it.
I think everybody has a little like number thing of like a number that they like as like their number.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that 6 is one of your numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 and multiples of 3.
Multiples of 3. I like it.
Yeah.
We have to figure out if there's a Fibonacci code of Tia's own personal Fibonacci code. Maybe there's a Tia code that we'll invent out of that. What do you got? You're reading something interesting, aren't you? Did you start a new book?
Well, yeah, actually. And talking of code, that's a very nice little segue because I'm reading, and I'd love for you to. Well, actually, I'm listening on Spotify, but you can do it how I'd love for us to read it together is the point, because I kind of enjoyed the last book that we did. So this is the new age of sexism, how the AI revolution is reinventing misogyny by Laura Bates. Yeah, I'm listening to it on Spotify. It's the first audiobook I've listened to on Spotify, so it's 8 hours long. I won't run out of listening hours.
Oh, because you're doing the Spotify listening credits. Yeah. It's annoying when they like cut you off mid-book, right? It's like...
Yeah, but like you get 15 hours, right? This is only 8 hours, so I haven't listened to any other audiobooks on that.
Any interesting little tidbits that are coming to the surface from your initial listening?
Well, yeah, I'm just very much at the beginning, but it's talking a lot about deep fakes. Like deep fakes and porn, and just like how there are so many apps that are just like readily available that guys can go, well, I guess anyone, but people can go in, and it's largely used against women and revenge porn and that kind of stuff, and you can just feed in an image and it'll make it pornographic and you won't even know.
It's so terrifying. Like you just reminded me of like something creepy that came up on my Instagram feed talking about deep fakes and like AI generated content that's misogynistic and very weird. I don't know if this has happened for you, but since we've been putting content out under the name of our podcast, I've been getting a lot of very strange things like in my Instagram feed, like as like, you know, the like For You page or whatever. Like it's just the stuff that it's showing me is some of it's really like the other day I've got a new follower. I don't know who they are. The entire account is like this, a repeated image of the same Indian woman. So I'm like, this has to be AI generated. But now I'm intrigued because I'm like, is this like, what is happening here? Like, why is the algorithm feeding me this stuff? And how did this follower find me? Okay. So now the other day I get another like ad for like or a notification of someone who's followed me. And I popped open the account and it's so creepy. It's all of these AI generated images of older men and pregnant women from all different, majority Indian. So they're dressed in like traditional Indian garb. Some of them are dressed to look like deities a little bit or like Indian royalty. And then there are also like, you can tell that whoever's building this content made an attempt to be more diverse. So there's like what looks like a Latin couple, what looks like a white European couple. Every single one is a very heavily pregnant young woman with an old man who's like caressing her, or like it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, why is Instagram recommending this to me? Why are these accounts following me? How do I stop this from happening? But it was so it's very on par with the book you're talking about. I felt like, because it was completely generated content. It's like it's very uncomfortable, and like things that I don't want to see that shit ever.
That's so weird. I'm not getting shown that kind of stuff. So I don't know that it's necessarily from our delightful podcast, but who knows? Who knows? It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, the only reason I say that is because I followed the trail back, and it's like the one of the accounts had liked our something we posted on our podcast feed, that, and then they followed my account. And I suspect it's probably the person who's creating this content, maybe Indian origin, and so maybe focused on like my side of the street for that reason, and putting stuff. So I've of course accordingly blocked the account from all of our things, but I just thought it was really creepy, and like it's very much on par with what you're talking about with this book. So now I'm interested to read this book, because my God, the deep fake stuff is terrifying.
The deepfake stuff is terrifying, and it's like kind of stuff you might not ever even know. And also like it happens so much in schools, and so like often it's underage kids that images are being uploaded, and it's often also underage boys that are doing the uploading. So like it's a lot of underage activities, but the apps are being designed, I am assuming, by adults. Who knows? But what I found really interesting in a few cases where young women or young girls have been the victim of this kind of deep fake, the perpetrators, their names in schools, for example, the school keeps the names of the perpetrators a secret and protected. Their identities are protected. They get punished apparently, but their IDs are protected. And the females their IDs are divulged. The names are divulged. It's like they don't get any protection. Why do the guys get any protection?
That's ridiculous. It's because it's always been like that. It's always been like that, right? Like protect the accused and not the victim. Always. Like especially when it's a male-female dynamic. Like we've seen that play out since the age of the Scarlet Letter. That's wild.
Yeah. And it got me thinking, I was like, oh, I wonder if someone's, for a second you're like, I wonder if that's happened. Has someone deep faked me? And so you could be one could be tempted and try and do some kind of search. I wouldn't even know how to do that. But then I was like, why would I want to know? It's a bit like I don't want to read reviews because I might read something I don't like. And also sometimes I see on Instagram there's been like more comments than I can actually see. So I'm assuming some comments, and I don't have many followers, so I don't have many comments usually, but some comments have been like hidden from me. I have no interest in knowing what those comments are. They can stay hidden. I am not going down that route. Ignorance is fine.
Yeah, I appreciate that the app hides those from you, as like we don't deem these as okay to see. But like I do wonder like how many countries are every nation has the opportunity to change its laws around AI and generated content, and like people having ownership over their own image and likeness and voice. And there are some, I think, is it the Netherlands? There are some European countries that are starting to make very tight laws around like who has the right to your image and your voice, and it's you. I know that this was like I think the debate in the UK versus the US is very different. The UK seems to be moving in the right direction with like protecting people's personal rights to their own self, right? But the US, I don't think is, well, I mean, the US is heading in a very different direction for everything. But like we're not, there's no limit on this here. So it's like kind of, it is a scary thing because it's like, I would, especially for like younger women, it's just terrifying. It's like any image of you, and there's people. I remember back in the day, like when things were still on video, like on video cameras, right? Like the biggest before the camera phone. To me, it feels very much like when I worked in retail. Like I used to, work in a bookstore, and we were always chasing, and it was a very large bookstore. A few floors, very big space. And we were always like chasing men out or like having to call the cops because they were upskirting girls, women.
Oh my goodness.
So to me, this is similar to that. Like it's a similar kind of a violation of like, you're perpetrating a sexual crime against me through my image or or my body, the image of my body or the likeness of my body. It's just the same kind of a thing to me. And it's awful. It's just like, not I'm terrified of where that all is going to go, because what is, it just further marginalizes women.
Yeah. And already I'm like, I find it very difficult to know. I think you might find it easier to tell if something is a fake or not, for some reason, just based on past conversations that we've had. But I'm like, I don't know. Is that real? Is it a fake? Is it real? Is it a fake? I don't know. I don't know.
It's getting better at tricking. It's getting better at tricking, which is really scary. But then there's also, like, on the other side of that, I came across an article the other day that, like, AI we might be hitting a wall on AI, and like how much further it can develop. There's some issues with the ChatGPT's like latest rollout, and
Yeah.
like there's been
Yeah.
some problems there, and like there's this, like, has AI already reached the tipping point? I don't think it has by any means, but there's people already starting to like question and doubt. I think we just have to. The thing that's dangerous is, like, it's also dangerous to kids, right? Like, whether you're the young boy who was playing the prank with your friends and just because your brain isn't formed, you just weren't thinking through what's going to happen here, right? Like, to me, they're being innocently led to their worst sides versus like having any opportunity to be coached out of that and like taught like the difference and like why you can't do that. And it's the same thing when, like, oh, once it's on the internet, it's out there forever, right? You can't take this information back. Once it's out there, and there's no stopping it. It's a wildfire that's burning everything down. So I can't, like, children, and I say children, I mean like people until their like brains are fully formed, don't really understand the weight of that, like what that really means. That this thing is going to be with that person or with you as the perpetrator of this thing for your entire life. It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
There's real danger there.
Yeah.
So good book, Rocco.
Yeah.
Is
So
it going to keep me up at night? It's going to keep me up at night, isn't it? I can already tell.
I don't know. I'm just I've tried not to go too far in because I want us to be listening at the same time. But I think it might keep you up at night for sure.
Yeah, probably. I know. I get way in my head about all this stuff, as you can tell. So I will definitely give it a read, because it's like, because it's going to impact like everything, right? Like, you can already see some of the trends towards things like body image that we thought were going away are coming back. And a lot of that is because of this like touched up generated content of like, I had the AI make me there's like an app that, you can like pay for it to make you headshots for your like LinkedIn profile, right? And I was like, this is great. This person you've generated is gorgeous, but it ain't me.
It's
like,
not me.
My hair is not always that. I'm having a nice hair day today, but it's not always that smooth, and I'm not always that skinny, and I'm not always, it's like, why did you judge me to look like this very cookie cutter, thin, perfect hair, manicured image? It's like, that's the images I gave you. None of them look like that. It's weird. It's me, but it's also not. It's very strange.
It's true. Often when AI tries to do me, it will give me straightened hair, which I find very interesting as well. It automatically narrows my nose and gives me straighter hair.
Oh, fun. Oh, tell me how you really feel about me. That's not nice, what has happened.
It's not nice. And what has happened to the body positivity movement? Like, it does seem we're going so far backwards, haven't we, with Ozempic and all of that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I remember years ago I was offered a GLP-1, right? Like, when I don't know if you remember, when I had a benign tumor on my thyroid, and it was causing, your thyroid's not working, you're gaining weight, your body's doing all kinds of crazy things. So I was working with an endocrinologist, a specialist in thyroid health, and they were worried about this was going to trigger like premature type 2 diabetes and all kinds of different things, because my body just wasn't, my hormones weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. So they suggested going on one of these like little injection in your belly GLP-1s. So this is like a while back, right? Because they've been on the market for a long time. And it's very funny, because while I work in healthcare and pharmaceutical advertising, I'm very wary of taking a lot of products and pharmaceuticals. I like to, especially something like that. I'm like, I need to see some like long-term data. I want to see where this is going. So I politely declined. And I remember the doctor was like, there was a male doctor and a female doctor in clinic together. And she kept saying to me, well, the really great thing is you get like this weight loss benefit. Like, yeah, it's going to regulate your A1C and your cholesterol and all this stuff that we're worried about. But you're going to like, you're going to get so skinny. You're going to love it. And I just looked at her like, why are you saying that? I confronted her because I was like, why are you saying that to me over and over as if I need to get so skinny that I'm going to like, what does that even, what does so skinny mean? Like, I'm having a unusual effect in my body because a body part, an organ is not working properly, right? I'm not thinking about being skinny right now. I'm thinking about getting my body re-regulated because it's throwing off everything, right? So it's
yeah, you're thinking about being healthy. Like, that is so toxic, isn't it?
It was interesting. It was the female physician that was in with him. They were doing a co-consult. She kept saying that, and I just was like, I left the practice and I went and found a new endocrinology practice. Yeah, I was like, I'm not here for image. I'm here for health. Like, let's just fix my health. I'll worry about my image. Thank you very much. It was just very interesting. So, like you were, I didn't know because you had told me that, like, is it Serena Williams that's like doing the GLP-1 now?
Yeah. So Serena Williams advert for Roe GLP-1, and it's shaken, it's shook, it's shaken, it's shook. People are shocked. Words, Tia, get them out of your mouth. Yeah, because like somebody like Serena Williams, who's this amazing athlete and tennis star, there she is, like in this photo, injecting herself with GLP-1. And she's like bragging about that she's lost like 31, I think it's 31 pounds or something like that.
Wow, that's a lot of weight. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even think of her as having like, because she's so fit. Like, she's like, you can't like, this is a person who her entire life has been a very serious level of athletic competition and fitness, right? Like, you have to have that level of fitness to be able to do that. So when you think about, she's just not your typical person that you think of.
And I think that's like one, because she's getting a lot of like criticism for doing the ad, but when she's spoken out about it, I think one of the reasons is she kind of does want to remove the shame around it and be very upfront about it, because if somebody like her who is training like, I don't know, 5 hours a day, like, she is an athlete, and yet she could not get rid of the excess body weight that she felt she'd put on after having 2 children, and that she felt was a risk to her health. Like, so she was like, well, I'm just going to look at it as I'm an athlete, and I've tried this, I've tried that, I'm going to try this now, and this is working.
So that's an interesting question, right? Like, have we, because it's become so tied to being thin, or like a thin body archetype, has the positive effect of the treatment sort of negated our cultural perspective on the treatment? Because it is helpful for people who truly need it and are struggling with, like, for health, right? Who are struggling with either so I know some people who are taking it because they just, no matter what they did, and these are people who are very active in their health and their health management and in their fitness routines and all of that, who couldn't get their cholesterol levels low enough, right? And like, as you're going into your 50s, that becomes a real danger. So their doctors have put them on this. Totally get it, right?
Yeah.
But I've also watched them lose dramatic amounts of weight while on this, and I'm like, I'm getting worried about you because you're getting very thin. Like, I would like you to maybe talk to your doctor and think, like, figure this out, because is this also healthy? So I do, like, I would never want to shame anyone whose body image is a very complicated thing. And like, everybody's body image stuff is their own stuff, right? Like, I certainly have my stuff, and like, I have a good doctor. I could not convince this man to put me on a GLP-1 if I went in and begged. Like, he's just not going to do it. He's like, I believe in you. I believe that you can get here. And if we absolutely can't, we'll figure something else out. Because there's a few steps before going on an Ozempic or a drug like that. But I do think it's interesting, right? When you think about like someone like at that elite level.
Yeah.
But she's right. It isn't like if she was injured in some way, if she needed, let's say, like cortisol shots into her knee for a knee injury,
yeah,
like that's just perfectly normal. So now she's taking shots into her, belly or thigh, wherever you inject yourself with, to keep your weight at a certain level so that you can continue to compete and do what you do at that level. It's an interesting conundrum.
But like, it is an interesting, and like at what stage might that become like a drug that would be considered banned by whoever
Sports authority.
the people are? Yeah, the sports authority. And also, there's the fact that it's a company that her husband has invested in. Like it's this little circle of reciprocity.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, you did. So her husband is an investor. Was he also on the board?
He's also on the board, yeah.
Of Rowan Co. That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's nice for them. But like it's just worrying because when I was growing up and as a young girl and as a teenager and then as a young adult, that was a very toxic time for body image. And everyone was wanting to be skinny. Everyone wanted to be skinny was the thing. And Atkins was the diet and speed pills were the thing. And if this drug had been on the market, then I'd have done everything I could to get my hands on it. And I didn't probably really need it. I didn't need it. I just would have wanted to get it. I would have wanted to be thinner. It's just like really dangerous, isn't it?
It is dangerous. It's like the ongoing desire to like constantly do anything, it's like, if I'm going to say it, it reminds me of the movie The Substance, because it is like, what would you do, try to maintain youth, maintain a positive body weight to yourself? At what point does that turn into body dysmorphia where you're just not skinny enough? Like, yeah. I've seen that a lot. I was definitely seen that in girlfriends. I think you were worried about that with me when I was like working out like crazy and I was dropping a lot of weight a few years ago. And you were like, are you starting? I remember you asked me a few times, like, you're eating, right? And I was like, yes, I'm eating. And it was a valid question because at that time, I was obsessively weighing every morsel of food that went into my body because it was the only way I could get in front of the weight I wanted to lose. And it was like, I could see it, not that it was becoming for me, but I could see how that could easily tip into a dangerous place.
Yeah.
I love food too much. And like, it's eating like certain things is a complete guilty pleasure of mine. So there's no way I was going to give those. I was never going to get there. I just like food too much. Certain foods, like very, outside of my healthy eating, I do like certain things that are naughtier. I was like not going to give those up. So there's no way I was ever going to get there. But there was definitely a moment where like, I noticed some concern coming from you and a couple other friends who were like, Resh, how are you? What are you doing? Like, and I walk people through my day. I'm like, I'm just working out. Like when you work out to that rigor, you get into really good shape and it can be alarming. So I can't imagine like going on a drug like this and seeing that dramatic, like 35 pounds and how in a short amount of time is a dramatic amount of weight. Like it's very significant visually too. Right? Like it's jarring to see.
Yeah, totally. The Substance, that was a crazy film. And it is wild. That's something that actually you've just triggered a memory of mine because like I remember interviewing Eve Arnold quite a long time ago, the photographer Eve Arnold, and she photographed Joan Crawford and many other famous people, but she photographed Joan Crawford when Joan Crawford was like older and really struggling to stay ahead of the Hollywood game. Like, and like she was given these very candid photos of her routine, and how much work it took. I don't know whether plastic surgery was already around then at that time or not, but I remember these words from a different interview of Eve Arnold. She said, something happens to flesh after 50, and she was way past 50. And it was probably around about 20 years ago when I heard those words, and they have stayed in my little head. It's like a little earworm, like a little earworm.
That is, how do you get that line out of your head? Now it's in my head. Great.
I'm so sorry.
I'll never forget those words now. It is a little earworm. Oh my God, something happens to flesh after 50. And it's like it rolls off the tongue nicely too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so it's just like, this is like the athleticism that we all as women kind of go to. I was looking at my roots, like the roots right now on my hair are grey, and that's because I'm trying to grow out the grey, and it's fine. But right now I'm just like, oh, is this a mistake? Is it? My curls are so pretty when they're dark, or like they look so not pretty when they're grey. Like what do I do? And also as an actor, am I cutting opportunities away from myself, or am I leaning into my casting bracket? What to do?
It's so you and I started this regraying journey around the same time, where I don't, coincidentally we both were like, that's it, I'm not doing this. So for me, it's just I can't keep up with the fixing of the roots. It's too much work, man.
It's too much.
I'm not that good about that kind of like, beauty care. I'm just not good at it. So it was like, let me just stop doing this. And I had pretty much spent most of my life letting my natural color do its thing, right? Like, and then I don't know, I got it in my head a few years ago that like I was feeling old, and I just went and colored it, which was, I regret that still, because it's like, okay, then I had to start keeping up with it again. So the regraying, and I've texted you a few times where I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to go to bed, because there's like a certain moment in the regrowing where it's just really hard to manage and hard to like look at. Like, it's just like, I can't. Yeah. And I've gotten past the point now, because it's like more than halfway now. So I'm like, okay, it's almost there. I'm like cutting back this while this is growing down. So it's catching up. Yeah. And I think I finally crossed the hurdle of like, okay, I can't go on like this. So I think I'm going to write it out, but I hear you. I think you're at that point right now that I was at like a month, because my hair grows super fast. So I think you're at that point now.
Yeah, no, my hair grows super fast too, but it's curly. So it also, it grows slow too.
But, yours, because your hair is curly and it has more lift to it, it was your gray could be a little bit more hidden.
I know, that's the other thing I could do. I could get more layers put in, so it gets more of an up thing going on up here. I could try and hide it better with a good cut, but I just don't know. Forget it. Forget about it. Yeah. Forget about it.
No, I know. There's no hiding it with me. It's like sitting right on top of my head. It's and I've noticed people have been pointing it out lately. Particularly men, and I'm like, I'm gonna backhand you if you don't stop talking about my hair, especially at work. I'm like,
it's always men though, isn't it?
It's always men. Like, they're always just butting in and giving some feedback that you didn't ask for. It's like, have you looked in the mirror, sir? And it's always like the most fuddy-duddy dude too. It's like, really, look at yourself. Like, what do you I had a coworker who said recently, and this is like somebody who's like a very high level executive at the place that I work, and made a comment about like, Reshma likes it when I join her on calls because it makes her look younger. And I'm like, you just said that. No. And literally everyone else that was there at the time had the same, because they were like, she is not the person to talk to that way, because she's going to publicly humiliate you. And two, but one of my work friends sort of jumped in ahead of me and was, because I was like, you do not talk about my face, sir. You do not talk about my face. And he immediately was like, I went too far. And somebody else jumped in and said, you should really know better than to talk about a woman's face.
Oh my God.
Like out loud in public. It was just like, what? But again, it's like, what if I didn't have, if I was, because I'm a box of hair dye away from looking 10 years younger, as are you, right? Like, it's not, I don't think, I don't think gray ages you. I think how your face looks is what ages you. And I think like we're both fortunate in that our faces are still looking pretty great.
I think I agree with you. I don't think it's the grey hair alone that ages you, but it ages, what I think it does is it ages people's perceptions
Exactly.
of you.
Yeah.
That's what it does. I don't think it actually ages a person if you're willing to look deeper and look at the whole person. But if you're one of these shallow scanners, it ages a person's perception.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're somebody who likes to talk out loud and like offer your opinion up, it opens up room for commentary that like you wouldn't otherwise make, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I just, it is interesting. I'm gonna keep rocking it. See how it goes for me. But I also like, even today, right? Like coming on, I have, you know, my t-shirt is a bit of a V-neck, and you know this because I've said this to you. If I will sometimes joke, I'll be like, "That's it. I'm going to get the neck plastic surgery. I'm getting the neck laser. I'm doing whatever." Because like that's an area that becomes very, you know, 50-year-old fleshy. Like, to go back to your previous, I'm always like, "What can I do? How can I make that look better?" But I don't want to be in my head about this stuff, right?
No.
Like, is there, you know, I don't. I don't know if you.
It's so wild, isn't it? Like I remember being in a show. You came to see it actually, and the director was a bit worried that I wouldn't look young enough next to the guy I was playing across from, compared to the guy that I was playing across from. It's the one that you came and saw, right? So enough said.
That was,
but anyway,
no,
stop it.
No way that was even a consideration.
That was when. Do you know what? That is when I started dyeing my hair for that show. Because up until then, I was growing out a buzz cut and I wasn't dying yet. So that is when this is so. But before I just said it was always men, but this was a woman who put this into my head, and then like I remember saying to her, "Oh, I might use a scarf for one of her accessories," and she said to me, "No, because that is an old person's accessory. Women who are wanting to hide their neck do that." This woman was older than me, by the way. So like. Wow. I remember being in my 20s and rocking a scarf. Like, what are you talking about, honestly?
Right. Like, I mean, like, wasn't Audrey Hepburn at her height, like, famously rocking scarves and things like that? Like, it was a look. It was like with her big sunglasses, and like, it was like a whole thing. It's a whole vibe. That wasn't an old lady move.
Sometimes we can project our own insecurities as women onto other women. And I think that 100%. Might have been a case of that happening in that moment. But yeah, you just talking about necks just reminded me of that. It's also wild that like that was what made me start dyeing my hair. I could at this stage this could all be grown out and be its natural color if it had.
And it'd be gorgeous. It would be gorgeous because your silver comes in really nice. Like, it's the same thing for me. It's like I could just be here and like, and I did the same thing. I got in my head about a comment, something had happened that just made me feel like I don't want to be this old looking. And I had put it in my head that the gray hair was, which was so weird because I've been going gray since I was in my 30s. No, I've had gray hair since I was like 5, to be honest, but it's just been deepening and really significantly in my 30s. So I just let it happen. I was like, the most I'll do is like put some other color in, like a pink or a purple, just to be playful. But like,
yeah,
nothing to like deny that I'm going gray. It was still very obviously gray hair.
Yeah.
Or
no, I'm the opposite. I started going grey at silver. I like to call mine silver. Yeah. And I found my first greys when I was silvers when I was 19. But I died. I just died and died and died and died and died until the buzz cut, when I just was like, I've got a buzz cut. I'm not dyeing this. Do you know what I mean? And then I stopped. Anyway, talking of like all of this, is there any surgery? I know we can't do the substance, but is there anything you'd get done? What would you get done, if anything?
Oh my God. I know. Like, can I just have a robot body so I don't have to think about these things? So
I'd love a robot body.
Right? Wouldn't that be fantastic in some ways? Yeah. I'm watching Alien Earth on Hulu, where they've got the synthetics, right? Like, they're doing like human brain transplants into synthetics, and it's like this perfect synthetic body that can do anything, but it's your mind. I'm like, I'll take that. I'll take one of those. Thank you very much. Not because of the skinniness or anything. I want to be strong and I want to be like out of pain and fit. And like, it's really about that. I'm like, can I just not have to worry about like having a stomach ache because I'm having some issues with my gut? Or can I just not,
Yeah.
can I just turn off a menstrual cycle? Or can I just do this? Like, it's for that reason more so than anything. But I think, I don't know, there's this, there's a plastic surgeon in Mexico, and she's becoming quite famous because one of her patients went viral with his before and after facelift, and it's like dramatic, and but like he looks like himself but just so much younger and better. So like other patients of hers have been putting up their before and afters, and her work is remarkable. You know how some people like come out looking like a completely different person?
Mm-hmm.
Her patients are coming out looking like themselves but just decades younger, and it's wild. And like the one guy, like he chronicled all of the whole thing from beginning to end. I just don't think I could go through it. Like I've been meaning to go get my eyebrows done, like where they like, you know, do like the permanent microblading.
Oh, I'd love
and I'm
that,
like,
yeah.
one, I gotta, how long do I have to sit still for to get this done? I remember I used to get the fake lashes done, and like you gotta lie there for a while, and I'm like, I don't have it in me. Like I don't think I could go and just do it. I'm like, just ride it out, man. Just let your body do what it's doing. I do fantasize about like, you know, having some fat taken out from around my middle and like my neck being that. I talk about it openly. I'll never actually do it. You will get texts from me that are like, that's it, I'm going to get liposuction. I'm not actually ever going to go do it.
I just feel like liposuction must be quite painful, but maybe it isn't.
I mean, just watching those procedures, I'm like, I don't, that just doesn't, I can't even imagine it. It's just so crazy to me. And like watching like those, you know, like there's like the doctor show, like Botched, where they show, you know, plastic surgeries that have gone horribly wrong, and like they have to go and get them corrected. Like you don't know what you're getting, right? Like, yeah. I can't, what about you? Would you get anything?
I have always wanted to do that. Always, since I was a little girl, I've always wanted
a little brow lift.
I've always wanted a brow lift. And I've always been a frowner. So
since you were a little girl.
Yeah. I used to pull my hair back like that. It's like, there's a hairstyle that I don't know, got coined the Croydon facelift, where like it's just basically you pull your hair back as tight as you can, and it lifts everything up.
It's a strategy.
A
lot of it, the high ponytail, the super pulled back high.
What is that called in America? Because here it's like,
I think it's like it's not it doesn't have like a town and stuff, but I do think it's like the, you know, a mini facelift hair, you know, like if you I don't know that it's got a term. If it does, I don't know it. Okay. But I've heard it referred to as like a cheap facelift.
Yeah. So I've always wanted that. I used to as a kid, I used to want like more of a delicate nose. I'm perfectly happy with my nose now. Thank you very much. In the past,
your nose is not indelicate, darling.
In the past, I think friends, anyway, it doesn't matter. In the past, I have thought about breast removal. But I've also thought of just lift rather than removal, just a nice lift. I've always felt that my breasts start a bit low. I've always felt that they start a bit low. So lift, and nice little lift.
That could just be your body shape. Like you know, some women's are high, some women's are lower, some are, you know, it's the variety. It's the spice of life, love.
If I could afford to do some of those like rejuvenating things that like are the non-invasive, then, and keep that going, then sure. But Botox, like I like the idea of Botox, but I'm an actor and I need to be able to move my face.
That's the thing, right? Like you need to find someone. So I know one or two people who do regularly get little touch-ups and things like that done, but they've clearly found someone that they're comfortable with, that they only go back to that particular doctor or wherever, dermatologist, wherever they're going for their treatments. And they don't look like they're getting, they just look refreshed whenever I see them. Mm-hmm. I have done some like spa treatments and things of like, you know, trying like not microdermabrasion, but like the abrasion free step down of that. That's like, it's still, like an expensive spa treatment. I don't remember all of the stuff that they were doing, but I didn't feel I was like, that was nice. It was like a nice relaxing day, but I didn't feel like I looked that different. It's like, the hell did I just spend all this money on? I did it actually, like, right before. Remember that TV spot I did with the dog for the dog food? It was right before I did that TV spot. I was like, because we were just coming out of COVID, so I said, let me go get my face looking a little bit nicer before I have to go do this thing. And it didn't look any different at all. So I just wasted a lot of money, but it was relaxing.
But it was pleasant, yes.
But it was pleasant, yeah. I'd much rather get regular, massage therapy, body work, things like that than like,
yeah.
Because I've never had a perfect body. I'm never going to have a perfect body. And my idea of a perfect body is just being very muscular, like lean and like having good tone and being very fit. I'm just not like, maybe I'll get, who knows? Anything can happen, but it's a lot of work. I'm not going to do it surgically. She says. That's what she says, but who knows?
Never say never, innit? I've got the cards ready. I'm ready for our questions.
Oh, you've got a question? 36 questions to fall in love?
Should I shuffle, or do you want to pick one?
Just pick one. What do the cards have on deck for us today? So this is from that New York Times article about 36 questions to fall in love, based on Dr. Aaron Arthur's study on human beings and human connection.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You're supposed to do that and do it, like, I think with like in a couple, like as a romantic thing, as a romantic coupling, or as a life partner coupling. But I feel like our friends are our life partners as well, especially for those of us who
you are not going
to believe.
We've had this one. We've had this one. I'm chucking that. That one. That's a repeat.
I don't like. It's probably. I know you chucked it because it's probably a repeat of one I didn't like answering.
It's a repeat. So number 25. Oh, okay. Okay. Number 25. Make 3 true we statements each. For example, we are both in this room feeling ... That's tricky. Should we take it in turns, go back and forth?
Yeah. Okay, we got to do 3 apiece. Okay, so we are killing it in this podcast game, in it?
We are recording our 6th episode of Cuntiosity.
We are both looking freaking fantastic in our silver and white locks.
We are... This is so hard, actually. We are both sitting in front of microphones.
We are both going to have a really great week ahead.
I love that. I love that for us both. We are Cuntiosity.
There it is, baby. There it is. We are Cuntiosity. And on that brings us to the end of episode 6. Thank you for listening. Find us wherever you find your podcast. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Pods, all the different pod channels that are out there. And follow us on Instagram. Cuntiosity is our handle. We will be back next week.
Bye.